पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नमः श्रीशङ्करानन्द गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणि। Verse 43. परापरात्मनोरेवं युक्त्या सम्भावितैकता तत्त्वमस्यादिवाक्यैः सा भागत्यागेन लक्ष्यते. So, Bhagatyaga Lakshana has been introduced. Lakshana is important. So, here the words will not reveal the meaning. The words para paratmana ho. So paratma means Paramatma and aparatma means Jivatma. So the Jivatma and Paramatma, the meaning of these two words, Jivatma and Paramatma, will not reveal the Aikyam, the oneness, unless you give up the primary meaning partially and take the secondary meaning. And so that is how this is also a method of taking the meaning of the word. So that is called Bhagatyaga Lakshana. And we have seen also Lakshana Vritti. There are three types of Vritti. One is called Mukhya Vritti. Mukhya Vritti means a method. Shabdasya Arthabodhana Prakaraha is Vrittihi. So Shabdasya Arthabodhana Prakaraha, a method in which a word reveals a meaning. And so most of the words what we use in the language, they reveal the meaning immediately. So that is called primary meaning, direct meaning, or Mukhya Vritti. Immediately the meaning will strike in your mind. Like table, so immediately will strike. Or the computer, pen, this, that, etc. Well, so this is how, but consciousness, it does not reveal. So nothing happens. When a word, so Swamiji, the word consciousness will have no meaning. If word does not reveal meaning immediately, perhaps it is a useless word. No, but it is not useless. It is a meaningful word. But it will not reveal the meaning of, it will not reveal the meaning unless you work upon it. And that work is basically called Lakshana. You will have to work upon it. So it is not a primary meaning of the word. The word consciousness does not reveal its meaning primarily, immediately, directly. And so, you will have to do Lakshana. And so, Lakshana also there are three types we have seen. And in which, so first is that Jahal Lakshana. And Jahal Lakshana we have seen the secondary meaning which excludes the primary meaning. That's called Jahal Lakshana. So you have to give up the primary meaning totally. I have given you several examples yesterday. And and you take up a secondary meaning. So the meaning which you get through this Jahal Lakshana is completely secondary meaning, in which primary meaning is totally excluded. And then Ajahal Lakshartha or Ajahal Lakshartha. Jahal Lakshartha means the meaning. Artha means a meaning. Meaning through the lakshana called Jahal lakshana. Ajahal lakshana, lakshartha means what? The secondary meaning, which includes the primary meaning. So don't give up primary meaning. And you add some more meaning into that. I have told you yesterday, right? You ordered some pav bhaji, but then definitely the waiter includes and the plate and everything. So basically Ajahal lakshartha means the secondary meaning, which includes primary meaning. Jahal lakshartha you will get when you give up the primary meaning and take only secondary meaning. And this bhagatyaga lakshartha means the secondary meaning, which partially excludes the primary meaning and includes portion of the primary meaning. So primary meaning is partially taken, partially given up. That's what I mean. So then you get a secondary meaning, and that is called bhagatyaga lakshartha, etc. And for us, bhagatyaga lakshartha is important, and well, I will explain you that when we do this Tattvamasi Vakya, the oneness, when we do that, well, definitely we'll see that. So, this is how we have seen this verse 43 in the last class. Now, let's go to verse 44. Jagato yadupadanam maya madaya tamasim nimittam shuddha sattvam tam uchyate brahma tad gira. So now, example we have seen plenty. Now take a Mahavakya and let us do the Bhagatyaga Lakshana in that and arrive at the oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma. The primary meaning of Jiva and the primary meaning of Ishvara will not have any oneness. They are naturally. Jiva means an individual, all the way limited, and he is a creature. Ishvara is he is a creator. Very first difference is that. And definitely, and Jiva is limited in knowledge. We call Alpagnaha. Ishvara is a Sarvagnaha, omniscient. And Jiva is Alpashaktiman. Ishvara is a Sarvashaktiman. And creature and creator, and so many differences are there. And Jiva is always subject to birth and death. And this Ishvara is something which is ever free from birth and death, etc. etc. So several. So then if you take a primary meaning of Jiva and Ishvara, there will not be a oneness. So this Mahavakya is not possible. Mahavakya means a Vakya which reveals oneness of Jiva and Ishvara. So that will not be possible. That's how we have come to Lakshana. We have come to this Lakshana, the secondary meaning, because of this. Anyway, let's now what he is doing is in verse number 44, he is giving a primary meaning of Ishvara, Tatpada. Tattvamasi Mahavakya is there. So he takes a Tat word and gives a primary meaning. That is Ishvara, means the primary meaning is given. And then verse 45, he is giving a primary meaning of Tvampada. And in verse number 46, he will show the equation. And definitely at that time, you will have to give up the primary meaning of both. So part of the primary meaning has to be given up, and part should be retained. And then he shows, see, then the Tat is equal to Tvam. So this is how he is going to do. 1 minute. So let's see that. Jagataha yadupadanam mayam adaya tamasim nimittam shuddha sattvam tam uchyate brahma tad gira. So Tat, the word Tat, the primary meaning of Tat has been taken here, and that you understand very well. Tat, primary meaning of Tat means Ishvara, who is a Jagat Karana, that is, or who is a creator. And the creator means what? Well, definitely we'll have to remind ourselves verse number 16 and 17, in which we have discussed that, Prakriti. If I will give you that word, the verse. Chidananda Maya Brahma Pratibimba Samanvita Tamorajas Sattvaguna Prakriti Dvivida Chasa. This Prakriti is Dvivida. Tamorajas Sattvaguna is Sat Trivida, but here to discuss Ishvara, he will take the twofold Prakriti. That is Tamah Pradhana Prakriti and Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. And that is being told also in another words, Sattva Shuddhi Avishuddhi Vyam Maya Vidye Cha Te Mate Maya Bimbo Vashikritya Tamsyat Sarvagnya Ishvaraha. Maybe verse number 17 or 16. We have seen this both the verses. So Sattva Shuddhi Avishuddhi Vyam Maya Vidye Cha Te Mate. Actually Prakriti is threefold. I will tell you in brief. This Tamah Pradhana Prakriti, Sattva Pradhana Prakriti and Rajah Pradhana Prakriti. Keep Rajah Pradhana Prakriti away right now. Take just Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. So he says here Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva Shuddhi means Vishuddha Sattva, which does not have to be contaminated by other Tamo Amsha or Rajasamsha. And the Brahman getting reflected into this Sattva Pradhana Prakriti is called Nimitta Karanam of the creation. He is a Ishvara. Basically, when it is reflected in the Upadhi, Maya Upadhi, he is a Ishvara. But Ishvara is become a cause of the creation in twofold manner. Nimitta Karanam Upadana. So, getting reflected into Sattva Pradhana Prakriti, he becomes a Nimitta Karanam. He becomes a Sarvagnya, Sarvashaktiman, who is the cause of the creation. So, he is a creator. So, he is a creator and so he is called. This all is included in Tatpada. Please understand. Tatpada means Ishvara. Ishvara means Jagat Karan. Jagat Karanam is twofold. Nimitta Karanam, Upadan Karanam. Then how he becomes a Nimitta Karanam? Well, he gets reflected or associated with Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. And he is called Nimitta Karanam of the creation. Nimitta Karanam means what? Efficient cause of the creation. Efficient cause means what? This will go on. But anyway, I will have to tell. Who has a desire of creating the universe? Well, that's enough? No. Who has the knowledge of creation, how to create, and he has also he has a creative power also, and definitely. So he has a desire, he has a knowledge, and he has a efficiency, he has a skill and efficiency to create this universe. So this is Nimitta Karanam, which has these threefold things. Anyway, and he also gets associated with Tamah Pradhana Prakriti and become material cause of the creation. Both are required, and therefore efficient cause and material cause. Because efficient cause is not sufficient. Definitely you require material to create. And he also becomes a material getting associated with Tamah Pradhana Prakriti. And so this is how Tatpada Vachyarthaha, the direct meaning of a Tatpada in Tattvamasi, is the Ishvara who is a Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. And he has become this Karanam, Jagat Karanam, through getting associated with twofold Prakriti. Prakriti is one, but basically we call Tamah Pradhana Prakriti and Sattva Pradhana. So Tatpada is equal to Ishvara is equal to consciousness, that is Brahman, plus reflected consciousness, and then definitely when you say reflected etc., you will need a medium, and that medium is this Prakriti. What is that Prakriti? Sattva Pradhana Prakriti and Tamah Pradhana. So Tatpada is equal to Ishvara is equal to Brahman plus reflected consciousness plus Sattva Pradhana Prakriti plus Tamah Pradhana Prakriti. This is the direct meaning of word Tat in Tattvamasi. So this is how it has been told here. Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam has been told here in verse number 44. Jagataha yad upadanam mayam adaya tamasim mayam adaya. So, well, tamasim adaya means by taking tamasi maya. Prakriti means Tamapradhana, by taking this Tamapradhana Prakriti, by taking these all, please understand, these are the words. Not Ishvara has some hands and then he pull that Tamapradhana Prakriti like this and get associated. Don't think that way. But this is a way of saying. Adaya means getting associated with, getting reflected into, all this can be said. Getting reflected into Tamah Pradhana Prakriti or getting associated with Tamah Pradhana Prakriti. Now Brahman is called Ishvara, and that is that to Tamasim Mayam Adaya Jagataha Yad Upadana Karana. So Upadana Karana means he becomes material cause. So we have got a direct meaning, Vachyartha, Mukhyartha of a Tatpada, partially. What? Ishvara, who is a Jagat Karanam. What kind of a Jagat Karanam? Material cause of the Jagat Karanam, Upadana Karanam. Now, efficient cause also has been told in the second line. Nimittam Shuddha Sattvam Tam Uchyate Brahma Tad Gira. So Tam Mayam Shuddha Sattva. Tam Mayam Shuddha Sattva. Well, Sattva Pradhana Prakriti, Vishuddha Sattva Prakriti. Well, and getting associated with that, getting reflected into that. Becoming reflected into that. The same Brahman is called Nimittam. Same Brahman. Now this Brahman which is devoid of this Jagat Karanam, he is not a cause of the creation. He cannot become a cause. He has no efficiency to become a cause. Really. Brahman is Brahman. It cannot do anything. It is totally useless as such. Totally useless. Because asangam. So there should be some kind of a sangha association with something. But you are telling that getting associated with the Prakriti. This is also by the way. This is by the way. I should not talk about mithya. I have talked so much that you are saturated with mithya now. Anyway, so tam mayam prakritim shuddha sattvam prakritim adaya nimittam bhavati, nimitta karanam bhavati. Who? Brahma. That has also been told. And tad gira uchyate. That is been told as by the word tat. Tad gira. Tad iti gihi, tad gihi. And tad gira means tena. Taya. So tad iti gihi. So Brahman is called Nimitta Karanam. Brahman is called Jagat Karanam. Upadana Karanam. That has been indicated, that has been told by the word tat. Upadana Karanam and Jagat Nimitta Karanam. So Brahman is called Jagat Karanam basically. And that has been told by the word tat. Uchyate. Uchyate is equal to Vachyartha. Otherwise he is going to use word Lakshate. Means, Uchyate means you take a direct meaning. You take a primary meaning of the word tat as Jagat Karanam, as the material and efficient cause of the creation. That's all it is been told. Anyway, let's go to the next verse now. Yada malina sattvam tam kama karmadi dushitam adatte tat param brahma tvam padena tadochyate. Now which Vachyartha will tell? Tvam pada Vachyartha. Tat pada Vachyartha has been told. The direct meaning of the word tat has been told as a Ishvara, as a Jagat Karanam, etc. Now he is telling about Jiva, Tvam pada Vachyartha. First both the Vachyartha has to be told, and then you have to take Lakshana. You have to do Lakshana. So Tvam pada Vachyartha, here it is told Param Brahma Uchyate, the same Param Brahma. Same Param Brahma, which has become a Jagat Karanam by getting associated with Tamah Pradhana Prakriti and Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. Same Param Brahma, getting associated with what? Malina Sattvam, Yada, when it gets associated with Malina Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. Malina Sattva means you can understand impure. Malinam means impure. Impure means basically getting impure with Sattva Pradhana Prakriti is getting associated with Raja Pradhana Prakriti, getting polluted, becoming polluted by Raja Pradhana Prakriti. So Malina Sattva or Raja Pradhana Prakriti, either. Because you can understand from the Prakriti that Raja Pradhana Prakriti and Sattva Pradhana Prakriti has been talked about. What is left over is Raja Pradhana Prakriti. So Malina Sattva means Raja Pradhana Prakriti we have to take. So Brahman is associated, or Adatte means definitely it takes. When it takes this Raja Pradhana Prakriti or getting associated with the Raja Pradhana Prakriti, the same Brahman and Kama Karmadi Dushitam. This Raja Pradhana Prakriti is what? Kama Karmadi Dushitam. So definitely it is this Prakriti is having a Kama and Karma, and Adi Padat you have to take Karma Phala, Sanchita, Agami, Prarabdha, all that. So when Brahman is contaminated with this kind of a Prakriti, which is Kama Karmadi Dushita, which is polluted with this Kama Karma and Karma Phala, etc., when it gets associated, Brahman gets associated with this kind of a Prakriti, tada, at that time, what will happen? Well, he becomes Jiva. Brahman is called Jiva, getting associated with, and that has been told by Tvampada Vachyartha. That is called Tvampada Vachyartha. So, same Brahman has become now Karyam Brahma. That Brahman is Karanam Brahma. When it gets associated with Sattva Pradhana Prakriti and Tamah Pradhana Prakriti, it becomes Ishvara and becomes Karanam of the universe. Now same Brahman, when it gets associated with Raja Pradhana Prakriti or Malin Sattva Pradhana Prakriti, then it becomes Jiva, called Karyam Brahma. One is Karanam Brahma, Karyam Brahma. Brahman alone becomes Karanam and Karyam by getting associated with different types of Prakriti. So Brahman, so Ishvara is a Swami. Definitely, Jagat Karanam, he is a Swami. And same Brahman can associated with Raja Pradhana Prakriti becomes Dasa. That is how one is Swami, one is Dasa. So always this is a fight going on between us and this this people, Vishishradvaiti. So we are fond of writing Soham, etc. You know very well. Soham. That is our Hamsa mantra. Soham. So they can't stand that. Vishishtadvaiti. So when we write on the board Soham and take a class and we go away, and then they come and then they look at this equation Soham and get annoyed. So what they do is they write Da in front of that. Dasoham. So Aham Dasa. Then again next day that Vedanti comes and takes the class. And that person Vishishtadvaisi don't rub it off, because to convey that I did not like what you have written, Mahavakya Soham, we did not like, so he writes Da, so Dasoham. Then we come next day, we write another Sa, Sada Soham. Sada means I am always him, all the time I am Brahman. And he comes, then takes a class. Again write Da. So Dasa Dasoham. So I am Dasa of the Dasa. Then next day we come. We write again Sa. Sada Soham. Could you follow what I am saying? I am always Brahman. Then he comes. Then we thought this person will not, he rectify. So we write one verse on the board and we leave. What is that verse? देह बुद्ध्या तु दासोहम, जीव बुद्ध्या तव दंशकः, आत्म बुद्ध्या त्वमेव अहम, इति मे निश्चिता मतिः. This is my resolution. What is your resolution? देह बुद्ध्या तु दासोहम. Well, देह बुद्ध्या. If I say I am an individual, I am identifying with this body, definitely he is a creator, I am a creature. देह बुद्ध्या तु दासोहम. So he is a Swami, I am Dasa, no problem. Jiva buddhya tvadamshakah. So we are answering him. They are fond of this. Amsha Amshi Bhava. Yeah. Jiva is an Amsha of a Ishvara. Ishvara is Amshi. Jiva is Amsha. Jiva is non-separate from Parmeshwara. So then we like, they are like our brothers. No. Jiva, basically, Amsha is always non-separate from the Amshi. I have given you the example, any state in the country is always non-separate from the country. State is not independent, otherwise it becomes a country. State is a non-separate from the country. State is a Amsha, part. Country is a Amshi, right, total. And therefore, they also say Jiva is a non-separate from Narayana. They say that, and we like it. So we say, Jiva buddhya tu damshakaha. I am Chidabhasa, right? Jiva means the Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa is Amsha. And Chaitanya is a Amshi. And always Chidabhasa is non-separate from Chaitanya. Any reflection is non-separate from the original. You can never separate. And therefore, from the standpoint of Chidabhasa, from the standpoint of Jiva, I am Amsha of Ishvara, no problem. And Atma Buddhya, Tvameva Aham, Atma Buddhya. If you think of from the Satchidananda standpoint, then there is no more Jiva. Because Param Brahma, same with the Raja Pradhana Prakriti, becomes Jiva. Right? And same Param Brahma getting associated with Tama Pradhana Prakriti and Sattva Pradhana Prakriti becomes Ishvara. And therefore ultimately it is Param Brahma alone, both the side, Jiva or Ishvara. So Atma Buddhya, Param Brahma Buddhya or Atma Buddhya, Satchidananda Buddhya, Tvameva Aham, that I and Parameshwara has no difference. Tvameva Aham, you are me or I am you. Well, iti me nishchita matihi, this is my resolution. And then we put the chalk stick and everything there itself and we leave. Now he has nothing to say. He has nothing to say because we have already covered his entire philosophy. And therefore, and something more also we say. Well, definitely. Anyway, this is by the way. So, this is a Tvampada Vachyartha in which three components are there. Original consciousness plus reflected consciousness plus Raja Pradhana Prakriti or Malina Sattva Pradhana Prakriti or Avidya, whatever you want to say. And and you can see there is no oneness between the two, right? Jiva is Jiva and Ishvara is Ishvara. He is a Karanam, I am Karyam. I am a creature, he is a creator. And he is Sarvagnya, I am Alpagnya. He is a Sarvashaktiman, I am Alpashaktiman. So much. I am Parichinna, I am limited entity. I am localized. Yeah, Jiva is Jiva has a location, Ishvara has no location. Anyway, so this is how we say. And therefore, Mahavakya is not possible. So verse 44 and verse 45. 44 gives a primary meaning of word Tat and 45 gives a primary meaning of word Tvam. And Tattvamasi, Asi cannot be said like that. Asi means is. You are that. Well, that equation is not possible. And therefore, basically we will have to do Lakshana, give a primary meaning or part of the primary meaning, etc. etc. But can I give a primary meaning totally? Let us use. Now you have only taught yesterday three types of Lakshana. Jahal Lakshana, Ajahal Lakshana and Jahal Ajahal Lakshana. Now let us exercise. Or everyone has taken a tea or coffee. So let us exercise our intellect. Jahal Lakshana means give up the primary meaning totally and take only secondary meaning. Primary meaning means what? Jiva's primary meaning means what? Primary meaning includes three parts. Brahman plus reflected consciousness plus the medium, that is Avidya or Raja Pradhana Prakriti, right? So that is a primary meaning. Give up totally that. Then what is left? Zero. Zero is left, right? Because you are giving up the Brahman also in the primary meaning. And from Ishvara also there are four components. Brahman plus reflected consciousness plus medium, both the Prakritis. Tama Pradhana Prakriti, Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. Give up the primary meaning of word Tat. Well, then that Brahman also goes away along with it. Then what is left over? Nothing is left over. Then how are you going to equate Jiva and Brahman? So you cannot take Jahal Lakshana. Jahal Lakshana means totally giving up primary meaning cannot be done. Okay, Ajahal Lakshana. Nothing, let us not give up anything, Swamiji. You add if you want to add some more meaning. If you retain primary meaning totally here, then equation itself is not possible. Because one is associated with Malina Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. One is having a Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. One is having all good attributes. Satya Kamaha, Satya Sankalpaha, etc. etc. It has been told in Chandogya that Ishvara has what kind of attributes? All exalted attributes because of Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana Prakriti. And Jiva has all inferior attributes, right? Jiva has all that we have seen in the morning. Jiva has a pride, Jiva has this, Jiva has that. Jiva says lie in between. Jiva cannot forgive all. Jiva has a jealousy. Jiva has this. All inferior attributes. So if you retain primary meaning, then inferior attributes and superior attributes. How can you equate? One has a superior attributes, one has a inferior attributes. One cannot equate. Therefore, it is essential that, we will have to give partially, give up. And therefore, this Prakriti, which is responsible to create the paraspara virodhinim, it is going to come. Well, definitely these are, that is, well, these inferior attributes and superior attributes are because of the Prakriti. He is a Ishvara, the Brahman who has a Sattva Pradhana Prakriti, he has a exalted attributes. And Brahman who has a Malina Sattva Pradhana Prakriti has an inferior attribute. So give up that Prakriti. And then, so, well, that is from the primary meaning, take away that Prakriti. The Prakriti means medium. If medium is not there, well, where is the reflection now? If you destroy a mirror, if you remove the the water from the bucket, where is the reflection of the sun? So definitely, well, that Sattva Pradhana Prakriti and Tama Pradhana Prakriti also goes away from Ishvara, and Raja Pradhana Prakriti from Jivas, from this Tvampada Vachyartha, that also goes away. And definitely when Prakriti, the medium itself is not there, the reflected consciousness also will not be there. Then only on both the side Brahman is left over from the primary meaning. So we have to do Bhagatyaga Lakshana. Could you follow that? Bhagatyaga Lakshana. From the primary meaning, a portion has been given up, and and the portion has been retained. Portion has been retained, portion is given up. So, well, if you give up the Prakriti and the reflected consciousness, definitely Brahman is left over in the primary meaning of Tatpada, and Brahman is left over in the primary meaning of Tvampada. Well, now it is Tattvamasi. It is clear. And therefore, no Lakshana will work other than Bhagatyaga Lakshana. Jahati Lakshana will not work, Ajahati Lakshana will not work. And if you do that Lakshana, then equation will not be possible. And therefore, Bhagatyaga Lakshana is alone will work. That is what has been told. Now, verse number 46. Tritaim apitam muktva paraspara virodhinim akhandam satchidanandam mahavakyena lakshyate. And so Tritaim apitam. Tam means Prakriti. Tam Maya. Tritaim tam Prakritim muktva. Muktva means giving up, abandon. Much dhatu. Much means to give up. So muktva is a participle. Muktva means having given up. Having given up the Prakriti. What kind of a Prakriti? Tritaim. Tritaim means Sattva Rajas Tamah Pradhana Prakritim. Giving up. Don't give up physically, not possible. Not possible. Because physically it is not there at all. Right? This is what Mithya is. Well, that's how people have a lot of difficulty in this Mithya. What happens is, once you understand that it is not there, yet it won't go. That is Mithya. Even if you understand it is not there, still it won't go. Once you understand pot is Mithya, means there will not be pot in your perception. It will be it will be there. That is why people have a lot of difficulty with this Mithya thing. Once you understand a given thing is not there, still it will not go away from your perception, is called Mithya. Once you understand the sunrise is not there, yet next day morning it will not go away from your perception, is called Mithya. And then if it is there, then it is Satyam. No, it is not there. Only cognitively you are negating. In your cognition it is no more there. In your understanding it is no more there. Perceptually you cannot, discard it. It will not. Neither Jagat will go, neither Jiva will go, neither anything will go. Nothing will go. If anything is not there, you understand, and perceptually also it will not be there. That is called Shunyam. That is called Asat. I am telling you, I have two horns in my head, and you are trying with all this, all types of instrument. You are trying to see, and you won't find. And you say, Swamiji, they are not there. They were not there before. They are not there. They won't be there. That's called asat. But in your understanding, something is not there and perceptually it will be there. That's called mithya. So that is the difference between shunyam, asat and mithya is this. Perceptually also it won't be there. But perceptually that is shunyam, and perceptually something will remain is called mithya. So anyway, so this is this is mithya. Prakriti is mithya. That's because somebody is going to ask, why are you throwing away this Prakriti? You throw away your Brahman. Well, I will not throw away my Brahman because that is Satyam. And Prakriti is mithya. Basically it is mithya. Maya is mithya. You know very well. Mithya means, well, it's perception in terms of the creation. In terms of the in terms of the jiva will remain. But well, everything is ultimately one thing alone, that is Satyam, and that is Brahman. And therefore we are giving up from the primary meaning. Prakriti we are giving up, and reflected consciousness. Reflection is always mithya, nothing to worry about. But the Prakriti we are giving up, and this reflection also we are giving up because they are mithya. And that's how Mahavakya reveals you are Satyam or you are Brahman or Brahman is you, either way. Well, ultimately, because you are Asanga and Prakriti cannot affect you and you are Asanga. And that is what in Swayam Jyotir Brahmana also has been told, Ananvagatam Punyena, Ananvagatam Papena, etc. etc. Ananvagatam. So, and you can understand very well this Brahman is Asanga. When it goes from one state to the other, definitely does not carry anything. No, Swamiji, from waking state it goes to the dream state, it carries. Impressions are carried, that is in the mind. Brahman does not carry anything. The consciousness does not carry anything, that is the mind. And you can understand that is mind, because if really what has been carried from the waking state, and that is the nature of Brahman, then it should be available in deep sleep state, but that is not available. What is available in a dream state is not available in deep sleep state, and therefore definitely it belongs to Anatma. Basically, Brahman, that is, which is, we call it as a Sakshi here in the sense of, in individual, that Sakshi moves in all the three states and does not carry anything from from a given state, and therefore it is Asanga. And therefore Rajah Pradhan, Prakriti, Kama, Karma, etc. or Karma Phala, all these things are given up. And Sakshi, or that consciousness which we call as a Brahman, and he stands independent of everything. Therefore it is mithya. Prakriti definitely needs Brahman to prove its existence, etc. But Brahman proves its existence by itself. It's self-revealing, self-existent. Therefore, from a primary meaning, we give up that what is mithya from both the sides, and that is Prakriti. So, Sattva Pradhan Prakriti, Tama Pradhan Prakriti we give up. And here, Rajah Pradhan Prakriti or Malin Sattva Pradhan Prakriti is given up. Anyway, so that has been told here, Tam Prakritim, Tritaim api Tam Prakritim, which is Paraspara Virodhini. Well, and that is Paraspara Virodhini because that is responsible for the attributes of Ishvara. Well, Brahman gains a status of a cause because of this Prakriti. Brahman gains a status of a effect because of the Prakriti. So, well, one is cause, one is effect. One has exalted attributes, one has inferior attributes. All this is due to Prakriti. So, Paraspara Virodhini. Malina Sattva Pradhan Prakriti and Vishuddha Sattva Pradhan Prakriti are Paraspara Virodhi. One is adulterated, one is polluted, one is totally free. And therefore, well, we give up Paraspara Virodhinim Prakritim Tam Muktva Akhandam Satchidanandam Mahavakyena Lakshate. Akhandam na vidyate khandaha. Yasya Saha Akhandam. Well, then definitely this, which is divisionless, the consciousness which is divisionless, it has no division of Jiva and Ishvara, or it has no division of Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. Well, it is one consciousness alone. Jiv, Jagat in Ishvara, that kind of division is due to Prakriti, which is Mithya, and therefore Jiv, Jagat, Ishvara also is Mithya. Could you follow? Because the Prakriti creates that division, so division is Mithya. Therefore there is no division really between Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, and that is Akhandam Brahma, which is the Satyam, which is the Adhishthanam of all the three, is Lakshate, Lakshana Vrittya bodhyate. This has been revealed as a secondary meaning. What is revealed as a secondary meaning? The oneness is revealed. Oneness is revealed by what? By the Bhagatyaga Lakshana. And that oneness, what is the meaning ultimately? What is the meaning of Jiva and Brahma when you say they are one? That is Brahman. Jiva and Ishvara both basically are Param Brahma alone. That's the reality, and that has been Lakshate by Bhagatyaga Lakshana. In the primary meaning, we have done this Bhagatyaga Lakshana, and as a secondary meaning, we have revealed this. As an indirect meaning, we have revealed this. Directly, they cannot have a oneness. Not possible at all. One is cause, one is effect, etc., etc. And therefore, this totally attributeless Brahman is the truth of Jiva and Ishvara. This is how Mahavakya works. Okay, let's go to another verse. Soyamityadi vakyeshu virodhat tadidantayoh tyagena bhagayor ekah ashrayo lakshyate yatha. Now this for Bhagatyaga Lakshana, Vidyaranya is using a very unique example. We can take an example, of course, other example of ocean and wave is there. But anyway, let's not go into that. Let me explain you this. This is better. So, Vidyaranya gives an example for this Bhagatyaga Lakshana. Soyam Devadattaha. Soyam Devadattaha. What happens is when in a given place, all the alumni of the past days have a get together, and people from who have studied together in the school, also they are all they had a get together, and there some of the people are meeting each other after school days were over. They had not met, and they are meeting today. But one of the person who is a very, very social, let's say, and he was in touch with all the people in the class, and definitely from the school days, but he had kept in touch with all the people. And so when all got together, let's have a name: Somadatta, Devadatta, and Yagnadatta, or Tom, Dick and Harry, but that I will not remember. So let us keep this Devadatta, Somadatta and Yagnadatta. And now Yagnadatta and this Somadatta both were not knowing. The Somadatta is one who is a social. So Sasa. Somadatta is social. And so he was in touch with both Yagnadatta and Devadatta. But Yagnadatta and Devadatta, they are meeting each other after 50 years. Abba. And therefore, Somadatta has thought of giving surprise to both of them. And so when they all met together, and then Somadatta called this Devadatta, Yagnadatta, and told him, what? Could you recognize this person? And he was seeing at him and seeing at him and seeing. Said, no, I could not recognize. Oh, he is Devadatta, our old class friend, school friend. And then he again saw, and he was doing some prakriya here. He was doing that prakriya. That is Bhagatyaga Lakshana, which I will tell you. That Bhagatyaga Lakshana is going on. And then he said, yeah, oh, this he realized. He realized the person. Right now he is standing, and the person who was studying with him in the school, he has done oneness of both. But there are no two people. He said, yeah, I recognized. And then he not only that, after saying, he has told several things. That we fought together and I was copying from your answer book and etc. etc. All these things he started telling. And so, means, now let's see, what is this? Saha ayam Devadatta. That is this Devadatta. Means that Devadatta and this Devadatta were united in understanding. Right? That Devadatta and this Devadatta are united in understanding. What is that Devadatta? So that is Saha is equal to Taddesha, Tatkala, Dharma Vishishta Devadatta. Saha is equal to that. Taddesha. Taddesha means one who was studying in that village school. Tatkala in 1951. And dharma vishishta. At that time, what type of attributes he was having? He was thin, he was short, he was dark hair, etc., etc. Wearing, different type of dress, etc., etc. His voice was different, his features were different, and he had different height, different weight. So that is equal to saha. Tad desha, tad kala, tad dharma vishishtaha devadatta. It's a one type. And ayam devadatta. This, right now in the party, ayam devadatta is what? Different. Definitely different. Ayam devadatta means ayam desha or etad desha, etad kala, etad dharma vishishtaha devadatta. And etad desha, right now in the friend's house where the party is, so etad kala, or let's say the year 2003, and etad desha means, let's say, Anaikatti. We'll say Anaikatti. So right now that Devadatta the Devadatta who is here is in Anaikatti, and right now the year is, let's say, 2003, and etad dharma vishishta. Oh, he has become taller. He is a grandfather now, and he has wrinkles, he has grey hair, and he has put on a lot of weight. His voice has become different. His all features are different. I am totally different. His skin is different. His teeth, perhaps he might have few teeth. A few teeth might have gone also. We don't know. So whatever. So saha devadatta and ayam devadatta, entirely different. That was 1951. This is 2003. That was some village school. Now here in Anaikatti, in particular apartment, and saha tad dharma vishishta. That dharma was entirely different. Height, weight, everything was different. He was a child like. He was a boy. And here it is, he has become man. He is now a grandfather. And his voice is different, features are different, skin is different, weight is different, everything different. And therefore, when attributes are totally opposite, then you cannot equate. You cannot equate. Saha ayam. That Devadatta is this. Devadatta cannot be told. Then what is to be done? Well, then definitely the attributes which make the difference between two Devadattas have to be dropped. So then, attributes are dropped, or the person is dropped. No, person has to be retained. Person has to be retained. Only attributes of the person has to be dropped. So bhagat tyaga. From the person, from Vachyartha was what? That Devadatta means having all different features and everything, right? And definitely he has a different type of attributes. Person plus attributes. That is that Devadatta. Person plus these attributes right now is I am Devadatta, this Devadatta. So attributes if you keep, well, then you cannot equate both. That was different height, different weight, etc., different voice, everything, different features. And this Devadatta, well, he has a different features, different weight, different height, etc. And therefore cannot be equated. So retain the person, give up the attributes. Bhagasya tyaga. So that Devadatta also person with attributes is a Vachyartha. This Devadatta with attributes, definitely, also is a Vachyartha. Give up the attributes. So when he was looking at him, so he was trying to see that person, connecting the person, that person and this person. And the person is one, definitely. Person is one. And therefore, definitely giving up the attributes is important here. Are you able to listen?